Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So, it is the start of our finals and pupasok na tayo on the interagency approach. And for the interagency approach, ang first topic or ang first na i-discuss natin, it is the Department of Justice or yung tinatawag ngayon nating DOJ. Okay, ano ba ang DOJ or Department of Justice? Remember, it is an executive department of the Philippine government. Again, when we say Department of Justice or DOJ, it is an executive department of the Philippine government, which is now responsible for upholding the rule of law in the Philippines. Again, when we say DOJ, ano yan? It is an executive department of the Philippine government, which is now responsible for upholding the rule of law in the Philippines. Ano pa? It is also the government's principal law agency, serving as its legal counsel and prosecution arm. Again, it is the government's principal law agency, serving as its legal counsel and prosecution arm. Again, when we say Department of Justice or DOJ, it is now an executive department of the Philippine government, which is responsible for upholding the rule of law in the Philippines, and it is the government's principal law agency, serving as its legal counsel and prosecution arm. Okay, next we have there the history and the creation of the DOJ. Paano ba nabuo yan? Ano bang history ng DOJ? First, meron tayong Presidential Decree number 1. It is during the martial law. Anong meron dyan? They reorganized the executive branch of the national government. Okay, on Presidential Decree number 1 during martial law, it reorganized the executive branch of the national government. Nag-reorganize pa lang sila dito ng mga executive branch ng ating national government. Then, dumating ngayon si 1973 Constitution. Anong ginawa ni 1973 Constitution? This department became now a Ministry of Justice. Again, noong 1973 Constitution, ang tawag pa natin sa kanya, it is the Ministry of Justice. And then, the 1986 People Power Revolution ushered in the contemporary Department of Justice. Ulitin natin. First, we have the Presidential Decree number 1 during the martial law. Anong ginawa dyan? Reorganization of the executive branch of the national government. Next, you have there the 1973 Constitution. Anong nangyari dyan? This department became a Ministry of Justice. Tinawag muna siyang Ministry of Justice. Then, dumating ang 1986 People Power Revolution, where now it ushered in the contemporary Department of Justice. And pagdating or with the adoption of the 1987 Constitution and the Administrative Code of 1987 or the Executive Order 292, the Department of Justice was named now as the principal law agency of the Republic of the Philippines, serving as its legal counsel and prosecution arm. Okay, so meaning, again, first we have the Presidential Decree number 1 during martial law. Anong ginawa dyan? They are just reorganizing the executive department of the national government. Dumating si 1973 Constitution, tinawag niya ngayong yang department na yan as a Ministry of Justice. Then, nagkaroon tayo ng Philippine Revolution on 1986. Nagbigay siya ng contemporary name for the Department of Justice. But, pagdating ng 1987 Constitution and the Administrative Code of 1987 via Executive Order number 292, doon na ngayon natin na ibigay yung name na Department of Justice for that department. Now, the Department of Justice, it is named as the principal law agency of the Republic of the Philippines. Anong ginagawa niyan? It serves now as the legal counsel and the prosecution arm of the Philippines. Dito naman, it is the agencies of the Department of Justice. Same with our PNP. DOJ also have its own organizational structure. As you can see on your screen, makikita po natin yung organizational structure ng Department of Justice. As of March 26 of 2025, iyan po yung organizational structure ng DOJ. Okay, makikita nyo dun sa taas, meron tayong Secretary of Justice. Remember, on our past discussion, when we say secretary, it is not yung taga-sulat. Okay, when we say no secretary, it is the head of the department. So meaning here, it is the head of the Department of Justice. Or one assignment, who is the Secretary of Justice at present? Who is the Secretary of Department of Justice at present? Pakilagay on your yellow paper, number 1. Who is the Secretary of Justice at present? Then write your answer. To be passed next meeting. Okay. On the Secretary of Justice, makikita natin dyan, meron tayong makikitang broken line. We have there the Public Attorney's Office and the Office of the Solicitor General. And also, makakakita rin tayo dyan ng IAS. Same po on the PNP organizational structure, DOJ has its own executive office, core office, and the constituents or attached agencies. Kung sa PNP organizational structure, meron silang mga support or auxiliary staff. Dito din on the DOJ, may ganun din sila. As you can see, makakakita po tayo on the DOJ ng undersecretary. Ilang undersecretary yan? We have there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, ilang undersecretary ang makikita natin sa Department of Justice? Ang isasagot nyo doon is that 7. And how many assistant secretary? We have there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, walang malilito. Ilang undersecretary ang makikita natin in the DOJ? That is 7. When ang tanong is that, how many assistant secretary are there in DOJ? Your answer would be 8. Now, on the organizational structure, makikita natin we have there the administrative justice, the financial service, the planning management service, the information communication technology service. We also have there the legal staff, the technical staff, the national prosecution service, or yung mga tinatawag nating piskal. Okay, yung mga piskal natin nandiyan. Next, the Office of Competition and the Office of Cybercrime. And also, makikita rin natin yung Board of Pardons and Parole. Familiar ba? What is Board of Pardons and Parole? Diba? On your CLJ1, na-discuss na yan. And also, makikita rin natin sa DOJ, ano ba yung mga attached agencies dito? We have there the Bureau of Immigration, the National Bureau of Investigation or the NBI, the Bureau of Corrections, the Parole and Probation Administration, Land Registration Authority, Office for Alternative Dispute Resolution, Office of the Government Corporate Council, and the Presidential Commission on Good Governance. Okay, that is the constituents of the DOJ or the attached agencies under the DOJ. And that's it for the organizational structure of our Department of Justice. One attached agency under the DOJ is nabanggit na natin to kanina, which is now the National Bureau of Investigation or yung NBI. Okay, the National Bureau of Investigation, it is now an agency of the Philippine government under the Department of Justice, which is now responsible for handling and solving major high-profile cases that are in the interest of the nation. Okay, anong ginagawa? Sinong inaaresto netong mga NBI agents natin? Yung mga high-profile cases. Again, anong pinagkaibahan niya sa PNP? Kung high-profile yung tao na huhulihin or yung isosolve nila is major high-profile cases, ang NBI po ang hahawak niyan, syempre with the help of our PNP. And also, kung ang crime na nangyari is nakuha yung interest ng Philippines, no, kung masyado siyang naging controversial, okay, pwedeng ang NBI din or the NBI agents ang hahawak ng mga cases na yon. Sila yung magiging head investigator and the PNP would be now their assistance in solving that case. And what is the mandate of the NBI, sabi dyan? To establish and maintain a modern, effective, and efficient investigative service and research agency, to implement fully the principal functions provided under Republic Act number of 157 as amended by RA number 10867, otherwise known as the National Bureau of Investigation, Reorganization, and Modernization Act. Okay. On your PNP, makikita nyo meron din tayo dong RA 11200 wherein it reorganized the PNP. Pagdating naman on the NBI, meron din silang ganun. Anong tawag on that Republic Act is that the RA number 10867. Sana hindi kayo malito, lalo na kung pinagsama natin yan on your examination. For the PNP, for the reorganization and modernization of the PNP, we have the RA 11200, but for the NBI, we have there the RA number 10867. For the power and the function of the NBI, it is they undertake investigation and detection of crimes and offenses enumerated under the Section 5 of RA 10867. So, ano-ano yung mga yan? Okay. For the jurisdiction of NBI, when we say jurisdiction, yan lang yung area kung saan lamang may karapatan or mag-investigate yung mga NBI agents natin. So, the NBI shall have primary jurisdiction to undertake investigation in the following cases. Number 1, if yung crime na nangyari, it is human trafficking cases in all airports in the Philippines, sino ang may jurisdiction or sino ang may karapatang kumuha ng case na yan or mag-solve ng case na yan, that is the NBI. Again, if the case is about human trafficking cases in the airports of the Philippines, that is the jurisdiction of the NBI. Next is the extrajudicial or extra-legal killings committed by the state's security forces against media practitioners and activists. Once na nagkaroon ng EJK or extrajudicial killing committed by the state security or kaya nagkaroon nga ng EJK or extrajudicial killing na ang gumawa is the PNP or other law enforcement agencies here in the Philippines, ang una or ang NBI po ang hawak ng cases na yan. The NBI agents will resolve that cases. Number 3, killings of justices and judges. Once na namatay yung mga justices natin, yung mga judge natin, sino ang primary mover or sino yung primary investigator for that case? It would be the NBI agents, not the PNP. And if there is a violation of Republic Act number 10175 or yung tinatawag nating Cybercrime Prevention Act, ang mag-investigate din dyan, it is the NBI. And also, for the cases referred by the Interagency Anti-Graft Coordinating Council or yung tinatawag nating IAGCC, ang mag-i-investigate dyan is the NBI, not the PNP. Again, cases referred by the Interagency Anti-Graft Coordinating Council. Number 6, violation of the anti-dummy law, NBI also. And if there are cases involving threats to the security or assaults against the persons of the President, Vice President, Senate President, the Speaker of the House of the Representative, and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Again, kung nagkaroon ng life threats doon sa ating President, Vice, Senate, The Speaker of the House, Representative, and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, ang mag-i-investigate dyan is the NBI. And we also have there the transnational crimes pursuant to existing international agreements. Remember, when I say transnational crime, ito yung mga crime na gina-commit outside the Philippines, no? Transnational crimes. Syempre, ang mag-investigate din dyan or magsasolve for that case is the NBI. Okay, for letter I, the identification of the dead or victims in case of mass fatality incidents caused by natural disaster. Like for example, nagkaroon ng bagyo. Ngayon, madaming namatay, just like in Yolanda, noong 2018 nata yun. No, madaming namatay on that disaster or natural disaster. Nagkaroon ng super typhoon. Madaming patay. Sino ang mag-identify ng mga tao na namatay or victim of that natural disaster? That would be the NBI. Isa pa, if there is a violations of commercial, economic, and financial, or yung mga tinatawag nating white-collar crimes such as, but not limited to those punishable under Republic Act No. 8792, otherwise known as the E-Commerce Act of 2000, the Republic Act No. 8484, otherwise known as the Access Device Regulation Act of 1998, the Republic Act No. 8293, otherwise known as the Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines, the Republic Act No. 8799, otherwise known as the Securities Regulation Code, Presidential Decree No. 1689, otherwise known as the Decree increasing the penalty for certain forms of estafa, and other similar penal statutes may be enacted by the Congress. Again, isa lang ang tatandaan nyo dito. Sa daming sinabi dyan, ang i-remember nyo na lang, ang NBI agents natin ang nag-i-investigate if there is a violations of the commercial, economic, and financial or yung tinatawag nating white-collar crimes. From A to Z, that is now the jurisdiction of NBI. Yung mga cases from A to Z na sabi natin kanina, yan yung mga cases na automatic sa NBI dapat ibibigay once na may nangyaring ganong case. Provided, however, that the President or the Secretary of Justice may direct the NBI to undertake the investigation of any crime when public interest so requires. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Like for example, may namatay na isang sikat na artista. Okay, sinabi ba from A to Z na once naman namatay na artist, it is the responsibility of the NBI to investigate? Di ba hindi naman sinabi doon na NBI ang magte-take charge once na may namatay na artista. But, yung artista kasi na namatay, masyado siyang sikat. Okay? Wherein, pati yung public, yung community, yung society, masyado nang naging interest for that crime. Anong gagawin ng President and the Secretary of Justice? They may now direct the NBI to undertake or ikunin na yung investigation of that crime. Wherein, sila na yung magiging head investigation or investigator of that crime. And once the NBI takes cognizance of any of the aforementioned cases, like for example, nga yung pagkamatay ng artista na yon, the Philippine and the other law enforcement agencies or the other investigative entities shall now collaborate and render assistance to the NBI. Again, once na nasa NBI na yung primary or sila na yung magsosolve ng case, dapat yung PNP and any other law enforcement agencies in the Philippines, dapat maki-collaborate, they should render assistance to the NBI and vice versa. Like for example, in cases where jurisdiction is vested naman exclusively or primarily with the PNP or other law enforcement agencies here in the Philippines, the NBI shall also collaborate with and render assistance to the same. So, tulungan lang sila dito. Letter B, power and function of NBI. It is to issue subpoena for the appearance of any person for investigation or production of documents through its officers from the rank of the regional director to director. Okay, na-discuss natin kanina yung number 1 power and function of NBI, wherein they now take specific crimes wherein they will solve that cases. Number 2, power nila, it is they now issue subpoena for the appearance of a person under investigation or under production of documents through the officers from the rank of regional director to director. Ang tatandaan nyo lang dito sa number 2, they also issue subpoena for the appearance of person under investigation. Ngayon, makikita nyo dyan na meron ding ranks or different ranks in the NBI. For the number 2, for your assignment, pakisulat pa rin on your yellow paper, number 2 doon. Write the ranks in the NBI from highest to lowest. Diba? May number 1 na kayong assignment. That is number 1, yung tinanong kanina. Number 2, ito naman yun. Number 3, function or power of NBI. They now act as the National Clearinghouse of Criminal Records and other related information for the benefit of the government. Pakitandaan na lang dito, National Clearinghouse of Criminal Records. Next, it render technical assistance to government agencies and instrumentalities when so requested. Like for example, sabi nga natin kanina, dapat nagtutulungan ng NBI and any other law enforcement agencies. Dito naman, kung manghihingi ang other law enforcement agencies ng technical assistance sa NBI, dapat mag-provide sila. Next, extend assistance in cases involving extradition and mutual legal assistance when requested by the Department of Justice. Okay, ano naman dito? Giving assistance also once it was requested by the DOJ. One power and function also of the NBI, they must establish a NBI Academy, which shall be responsible for the recruitment, training, and the development of all NBI agents and personnel among others. Siyempre, NBI, iba dapat yung kanilang training academy. Iba dapat yung kanilang recruitment process, no? They should have a separate recruitment training process to the PNP. So, meaning they must establish their own. Letter G, they must establish and maintain a forensic and scientific research center which shall serve as the primary center for forensic and scientific research in furtherance of scientific knowledge in criminal investigation, detection, evidence collection, and preservation, and provide the necessary training therefore. So, meaning, sa NBI din, makikita po natin dyan, no? They have different kind of forensic lab. Meron sila dyang question document, meron silang forensic personal identification or sa fingerprint, and many more about forensic. Makikita natin yan on the NBI. Next is that they must establish and maintain a cyber investigation. Bakit kaya kailangan nilang mag-maintain ng cyber investigation and assessment center? Because it will now serve as the nerve center for computer information technologies, data on cybercrime cases, computer intrusion, threats, and other related crimes or activities. Okay. Bakit ngayon kailangan nilang mag-establish, mag-maintain ng cyber investigation? Is it because, di ba kanina on letter A, ang sabi natin, if there is a cybercrime, yes, if there is cybercrime, sino may jurisdiction dyan, it is the NBI. So, meaning, they must now establish yung cyber investigation and assessment center wherein ito yung magiging utak, no? Or ito yung, anong tawag dito? Ito yung center ng information for everything. Data on cybercrime cases, computer intrusion, threats, and other related crimes or activities for that. Letter I, they also must establish and maintain an integrated, comprehensive, and state-of-the-art network of equipment and facilities to be used by the NBI in its criminal investigation, detection, and evidence gathering, and to provide the corresponding training in this regard. Okay, sabi nga natin kanina, on the NBI, makakakita tayo dito ng different forensic facilities. Like, for example, the ballistics, the fingerprint, the question document examination. So, meaning, dapat makapag-provide sila ngayon dyan ng mga equipment para doon, and they should also provide training or corresponding training for that. Another power and function of NBI is that they may request the assistance of the PNP, AFP, or any other agencies of our government, including the government-owned and controlled corporations, in its anti-crime drive. Such assistance may include the use of the agency's personnel and the facilities upon prior approval by the head of the agency concerned. Okay, so meaning, isa ring power na pwedeng gawin ng NBI, they can now request assistance from other law enforcement agencies in the Philippines for them to help them in anti-crime drive nila. Next, they conduct intelligence operation in furtherance of the foregoing powers and function. Okay, yung mga nabanggit natin kanina, pwede ngayon silang magkaroon dyan ng mga intel. Okay, or pwede silang mag-conduct na intelligence operations, hindi lang doon sa PNP. Diba, alam niyo namang lahat na ang PNP is nagkakandak ng mga intel. Though pati NBI is pwede rin silang mag-conduct ng intelligence operation regarding doon sa mga other powers and functions na nasabi natin. Okay, next, they may enter into any contract or transaction for the acquisition, ownership, possession, administration, lease, disposition, or acceptance of real or personal property in its name, subject to the approval of the Secretary of Justice. Letter M, they may establish a moderate NBI clearance, which is very nakikita natin ngayon if kukuha kayo ng NBI clearance. And the identification center containing all derogatory criminal records and civilian identification records, including their identifying marks and characteristics and fingerprint database, as well as their dental records pursuant to the Presidential Decree number 1575, entitled Requiring Practitioners of Dentistry to Keep Records of Their Patients. Okay, so ano naman tong letter M? Sinasabi dito, they must now establish a modern NBI clearance, which is makikita naman natin ngayon. Diba? If kukuha kayo dun sa NBI or kukuha kayo ng NBI clearance, kailangan nyo ngayong ilagay yung mga fingerprint database nyo. They also identifying yung mga marks na meron sa inyo. Like for example, kung may mole ka sa right eye mo or may mole ka below your nose or kung may dimple ka and any other identifying marks to identify you as a person or to identify you for that to be that person, kailangan nila ilagay. And also your characteristics, your color, your hair, and everything na makakapag-identify na ikaw yun. Kailangan isama na nila yan on your record. And also, sabi dyan, due to the pursuant of the PD 1575, kailangan yung mga dentist natin, they are now required to keep yung mga records ng dental natin. Okay? They are now required to keep the dental records of the peoples or kung sino man yung nagpapatingin sa kanila. Bakit kaya? Kasi nga on your legal medicine, no, mapag-aaralan nyo, one of the points of identification on the living and dead person is the dental record. Big help yan in investigating a dead person or kahit buhay na tao. Next, they must maintain for purposes of investigative and forensic requirements of the NBI, relevant database such as ballistic records of firearms, including but not limited to data ownership, possession, and other related identifying circumstances, and deoxyribonucleic acid or the DNA data bank. So, meaning, they must maintain everything, no? Lahat ng ginagamit nila, dapat they maintain it for the purposes nga naman kung magkakaroon ng another investigation at pwede nilang magamit yung mga DNA na meron na sila, no? Magkakaroon sila dyan ng tinatawag nating comparison. And the last power and function of the NBI, they must perform such other functions as the President or the Secretary of Justice may assign. Okay, sa lahat na nabanggit natin from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, A to J kanina, lahat yun, that is the power and function of the NBI. For the letter O, sinasabi naman dito, hindi lang limited doon sa A to J yung kanilang power and function. Unless otherwise, sinabi yan ng ating President or Secretary of Justice. Pwede silang magdagdag pag sinabi lang ng President or the Secretary of Justice. For the NBI organization and for its key officials, we have there the Section 6, wherein ang sinasabi ng Section 6, it is now the NBI Director and other officials. Ngayon, sabi dyan, the NBI shall be headed by a director. Again, anong tawag doon sa head ng NBI? Ang tawag ngayon natin doon is director or NBI Director. That NBI Director, it shall be appointed by our President. Again, that Director of the NBI, sino mag-a-appoint dyan? It is the President. To be the director of NBI, number 1, you must be a natural-born citizen of the Philippines. One requirement to be the director of NBI, you must be a natural-born citizen of the Philippines. Number 2, you must be a member of the Philippine Bar. When we say you are a member of the Philippine Bar, nagpa-practice ka ng law mo, or kaya you are attorney, or kaya you are, you are attorney or lawyer. Wherein, kahit na attorney or lawyer ka, dapat daw you've been engaged in the practice for law for at least 15 years. So, again, first, the NBI shall be headed by the director. And that director, it must be appointed by the president. But for you to be a director, you must possess some requirements. Number 1, you must be a natural-born citizen of the Philippines. Number 2, you are a member of the Philippine Bar. And number 3, you are member of the Philippine Bar, but you must have been engaged in the practice for law for at least 15 years. Okay? So, nagpa-practice ka na ng law. You are lawyer for 15 years. Pwede ka ngayon maging isang director. Then, the director, it must be assisted by 2 deputy directors. One for administration and one for operation. Same kanina, it's also to be assistant or to be deputy director, you must be appointed also by the president. Again, kanina kagaya ng director, the deputy directors, it should be appointed by the President of the Philippines also, upon now the recommendation of the Secretary of Justice. That is the difference naman ng NBI Director at Deputy Directors. Ngayon, to be a Deputy Director, syempre, meron din yung mga requirements. Number 1, he or she must be a citizen of the Philippines. And also, number 2, same kanina, Philippine or member of the Philippine Bar, but who has engaged in the practice of law for at least 10 years. Okay, at least 10 years for the deputy director. Ngayon, 'di ba? Kung merong deputy director, magkakaroon din ng regional director. Kasi per region, magkakaroon din tayo ng NBI office. So, meaning, sino yung magiging deputy director for the region? Ang tawag natin ngayon doon, yung head doon is the regional director. And same requirement, to be a regional director, you must be a citizen of the Philippines and you must be a member of the Philippine Bar or Law. with been engaged in the practice for at least 5 years naman. Okay. Next, makikita nyo rin on the NBI organization, you have their 7 services. The Investigation Service, Intelligence Service, Human Resource Management Service, Controller Service, Forensic Science Research Service, Legal Service, and the Information Communication Technology Service. Ang tawag doon sa mga head ng per service na yan, it should be the Assistant Director. Okay, sana malinaw, sana nakakasunod. O, ulitin na lang natin para sa ikakatahimik ng ibang hindi nakakasunod. Okay, for the NBI organization, ang sabi natin, just like on the PNP, the NBI, it shall be headed by a director. At yung director na yan, it must be appointed by the president. But to be a director, you must possess some requirements. First, you are a natural-born citizen of the Philippines. Number 2, you must be a member of the Philippine Bar. Number 3, yes, you are a member of the Philippine Bar, but you must have been engaged in the practice of law for at least 15 years. That is for the director of NBI. Kung may director of NBI, dapat it should be assisted by 2 deputy director. Ano yan? Deputy Director for Administration and Deputy Director for Operation. Ngayon, yung 2 Deputy Director na yan, kailangan they must also appointed by the President, but upon the recommendation of our Secretary of Justice. What are the requirements to be a Deputy Director? Number 1, you must be a citizen of the Philippines. Number 2, you must be a member of the Philippine Bar. Number 3, yes, you are a member of the Philippine Bar, but you must be engaged in the practice of law for at least 10 years. Okay? That is the difference naman on the director at saka deputy director. Ngayon, magkakaroon kayo ng mga region office. In that region office, ang itatawag ngayon natin sa director for that region office of the NBI is regional director. Okay. For the regional director, ano yung requirements naman dyan? Number 1, he or she must be a citizen of the Philippines. Number 2, member of the Philippine Bar. Number 3, yes, member of the Philippine Bar, but he must or she must been engaged in the practice of law for at least 5 years only. Okay, sana nagigets natin, no? Balik-balikan nyo na lang kung hindi nyo nagigets. Next naman, ngayon, we have different services under the NBI. Makikita natin doon we have 7 services, which is yung sinabi natin kanina. Ngayon, ang head, doon sa mga each services na yan, ang itatawag ngayon natin sa kanila is the Assistant Director. Next, we have there the Section 8, the qualification to be a NBI agent. So, same, no? Kagaya on the PNP, may mga qualification din to be a NBI agent. First, the minimum qualification of NBI agents are the following. Siyempre, hindi mawawala dyan. So, you must be a citizen of the Philippines, with have a good moral character, and also a member of the Philippine Bar, or kaya you are a holder of baccalaureate degree who passed the necessary government licensure examination relevant to the investigative function of the NBI. Number 1 na pwedeng pumasok dito is the criminology graduate who passed the criminology's licensure examination or who passed the one eligibility, which is the civil service professional examination. Okay, letter D, successfully passed the competitive mental and physical examination required by the NBI. Just like on the PNP, nagre-require din ng mental and physical examination ng NBI wherein dapat maipasa ninyo din if you want pumasok in the NBI. For the Section 9, it is the powers and function of the agents or the NBI agents. The agents of the NBI shall have the following powers and function. Number 1, they may undertake the investigation pursuant to the mandate of the NBI. Siyempre, sila yung mag-i-investigate doon sa mga cases na or jurisdiction under NBI. Number 2, they may also conduct searches, arrests, seizures in accordance with the existing laws, rules, and regulation. So, meaning, NBI is also a law enforcement agency wherein they may conduct search, arrest, and seizure. Next naman, ABC, letter C po yan. Letter C, take and require sworn statements of any person or persons so summoned in relation to cases under investigation. Okay, they are also required now to take sworn statement just like PNP, di ba? Parehas lang din naman. Kaso nga lang, nagka-differ lang sila on the type of crime. And letter D, they may administer oaths in cases under investigation. And letter E, such other function as may be assigned by the NBI director. A to B, ganyan yung mga power and function ng ating NBI agents. Pwede yung madagdagan by letter E kung sinabi ng kanilang NBI director. Okay, under DOJ, na-discuss na natin yung NBI. Remember, DOJ, it is the Department of Justice. Under DOJ, hawak niya ang NBI or the National Bureau of Investigation. Ngayon, tapos na tayo doon sa agency na yon. Let's now proceed on the next agency under the Department of Justice, wherein yung Bureau of Immigration. Okay, for the Bureau of Immigration or BI, what is the mandate of this bureau? This bureau is principally responsible for the administration and enforcement of immigration, citizenship, and alien admission. When we say alien, hindi yan yung alien na alam nyo, ha? Yan yung, when we say alien, yan yung mga foreigner na pumupunta dito sa Philippines. Yan ang tawag natin sa kanila, alien. And the registration laws in accordance with the provision of the Philippine Immigration Act of 1940. It also plays a role in the enforcement of RA 9208, also known as the Anti-Trafficking in Person Act of 2003. Okay, that is the mandate of the Bureau of Immigration. Tatandaan nyo lang dito, they are now responsible for the enforcement and administration of the immigrants for our citizenship and alien admission. What now the general function of the Bureau of Immigration, number 1 or letter A? It now acts as the primary enforcement arm of the Department of Justice and the President of the Philippines in ensuring that all foreigners within its territorial jurisdiction comply with existing laws. So, meaning, ang BI natin or Bureau of Investigation, siya ngayon yung tumitingin dun sa mga aliens na nandito sa Philippines or doon sa mga foreigners na nandito sa Philippines kung sumusunod ba sila doon sa mga laws na meron tayo here in the Philippines. Ano pang ginagawa ng mga BI or Bureau of Immigration? They assist the local and the international law enforcement agencies. Like for example, the PNP here in the Philippines. For what? In securing the tranquility of the state against the foreigners whose presence or stay may be deemed threats to the national security, public safety, public morals, and public health. So meaning, one of the role of the Bureau of Immigration is to assist now, no, yung mga PNP natin. Lalo na if that foreigner na nandito sa Philippines natin may have or yung presence ng isang tao na yon pwedeng maging threat to our national security. Letter C naman, they may act as the chief repository of all immigration records pertaining to entry, temporary sojourn, admission, residence, and departure of all foreigners in the country. So, makikita nyo, no, kung for the BI, more on foreigners sila. Sila yung nagbibigay ng, di ba? Sila rin yung anong tawag dito? Yung nagpapaalis ng isang foreigner in the Philippines. Sila din nagbibigay ng residency for the foreigner here in the Philippines. That's it for their general function. Let's now proceed doon sa specific function ng ating Bureau of Immigration. Letter A, regulation of the entry, arrival, or stay, sojourn, and exit, departure of the foreign nationals in the country. So meaning, pagpasok pa lang, no, entry, arrival pa lang ng isang foreigner dito sa Philippines, dapat nire-regulate na nila, chine-check na nila, ino-observe na nila. Next, stay or sojourn, yung tinatawag nating stay, tinatawag din natin yung sojourn, yung paninirahan dito ng mga aliens natin or foreigners. Sila din yung may hawak doon. Sila din yung in charge for that. And the exit or departure, yung paglabas sa bansa ng mga foreigners, sila rin yung nagha-handle or tumitingin. And they also monitor the entry and exit of the Filipino citizens in compliance with the Philippine laws and other legal procedure. Siyempre, hindi lang din naman pala foreigner, pati mga Filipino citizens na papasok at lalabas ng ating bansa, dapat chine-check din ng BI if they are not compliant doon sa ating Philippine laws. Like for example, sila yung mga nag-check if meron bang mga kontrabanda dala yung mga Filipino or mga foreigner palabas at papasok ng ating bansa. Next, they give issuance of immigration documents and the identification certification of non-immigrant, immigrant, and special immigrant visas. Okay, so meaning they are now determining kung immigrant ba yung isang tao na yan, non-immigrant or special non-immigrant yung isang tao na papasok here in the Philippines. Other specific function of the BI or the Bureau of Immigration is the issuance of these special permits in relation to the enforcement of immigration laws. Like for example, nagbibigay po sila ng mga special work permit para doon sa mga foreigner na magtatrabaho here in the Philippines. Nagbibigay din sila ng provisional permit to work and special study permit para naman to sa mga mag-aaral na taga-ibang bansa here in the Philippines, and the re-entry permits, clearance, and etc. Other specific function is that giving extension of stay of temporary visitors and the implementation of changes of status as provided by law. Other function of BI, the administrative determination of citizenship and related status. They are now determining kung ano ba yung citizenship ng isang tao. Like for example, di ba yung nangyari sa case nung mayor sa Bambam, ni Alice Go, di ba? They must determine the citizenship of that person. Letter G is that investigation, hearing, decision, and execution of orders pertaining to exclusion, deportation, and repatriation of foreign nationals. Okay, so meaning if there is a case or hearing of our foreign nationals for the deportation ng mga tao na yan or repatriation, yung pagbabalik sa bansa nila, that is a specific function of the Bureau of Investigation. Letter H, implementation of hold departure orders. Okay, when you say hold departure orders, sila rin yung mga nag-hold ng mga paalis ng bansa. And blacklist to watchlist, no? Dapat meron din sila niyan. Yung mga blacklist and watchlist, yung mga pinapatignan. Like for example, alam nilang may dadating na tao na ganito dito sa bansa natin, nasa watchlist na nila yan. Kailangan they must identify them. Blacklist naman, dapat alam nila yung mga names ng mga taong hindi na pwedeng pumasok here in the Philippines. Next, immigration lookout, bulletin orders, and alert list orders. Letter I, the cancellation of immigration documents upon violation of immigration laws and procedures. So, one specific function of the Bureau of Immigration, they may cancel the immigration documents of that person once they violate an immigration laws and procedure. Letter J, investigation, arrest, and detention of foreigners in violation of immigration, regulation, and other Philippine laws. So meaning, one of the specific function of the Bureau of Immigration, they may conduct investigation, they may conduct arrest, detention of the foreigners once that foreigner violate an immigration regulation or other Philippine laws natin. Like for example, nag-commit siya ng crime. Okay, the BI may also arrest that person. So meaning, when you say BI or Bureau of Immigration, sila rin ay other law enforcement agency kasi nga nagkakandak din sila ng arrest. Letter K, accreditation of schools and learning institutions that can officially accept and enroll foreign students. Okay, so meaning one of the function of the Bureau of Immigration is that they accredit yung mga schools or learning institution, especially yung mga college schools natin, mostly on private school, no, wherein nag-a-accept na sila ng mga foreign students, just like in the University of the Cordilleras where I graduated, no, we have their foreign students. So meaning, for that school na makapag-accept sila ng mga foreigner students, it must be accredited by the Bureau of Immigration. And last specific function of the BI is the accreditation also, but accreditation also ng ating mga law firms or liaison officers, travel agencies, and other individuals and organizations transacting with the Bureau of Immigration. Okay, for the organization of the Bureau of Immigration naman, or the organizational structure, it must be established under a Commissioner of Immigration. Okay, sino ang head sa BI or Bureau of Immigration? Tatawagin ngayon natin yung Commissioner of Immigration, who shall have two assistants. Sino yan? A first Deputy Commissioner of Immigration and the second Deputy Commissioner of Immigration. So, medyo madali lang dito, no, sa organization and key officials of our Bureau of Immigration. Okay, we are done on the agency of the DOJ, which is number 1 na na-discuss natin, the NBI. Next, natapos na rin tayo on the Bureau of Immigration. Now, let's now proceed to the Bureau of Correction. Remember again, Bureau of Correction, it is under the umbrella of our DOJ or Department of Justice. The Bureau of Correction now, it is the agency of the Department of Justice, which is now charged with the custody, rehabilitation of the national offenders who have been sentenced to 3 years of imprisonment or more. Diba nga sabi natin on your CLJ1, once na you are commit a crime and you have imposed a punishment of 3 years and above, you will be called a national prisoner or to be called a national offender. And mailalagay ka sa ating Bureau of Correction. The agencies has its headquarters in the New Bilibid Prison, reservation in the Muntinlupa. For the mandates and function of the Bucor, it shall be in charge of the safekeeping. When we say safekeeping, siya yung mga nagkikip, di ba? Mga nagtatago, or kaya sila yung tumitingin doon sa ating mga PDLs. And also instituting reformation, di ba? Yan naman ang mahalaga. Once na nasa penal institution na ang ating mga offenders, the reformation and the rehabilitation of them. Again, the Bucor in charge for safekeeping and instituting reformation programs to the PDL or persons deprived of liberty, which are sentenced more than 3 years, or to 1 sentence for violation of customs, immigration, or election laws. Okay, so makikita natin dito, once na ang tao is nag-violate on the violation of the customs, immigrations, or election laws, they must be on the Bucor. Under dapat sila ng Bucor regardless kung kaano man katagal yung sentence nila. Kung itong tao na to is nakasuhan siya due to the election law, which have a 2 years sentence. Diba? Sabi natin, pag 3 years and below, dapat it will be mapunta yan sa BJMP. Pero specifically, sinabi ng batas natin by the mandates and functions of the Bucor, kahit 2 years lang yung sentence niya, basta yung case na yan is about election law, sa Bucor siya mapupunta. Same with the custom and immigration violation. Okay, we have there the legal basis of our Bucor. Number 1, the Reorganization Act of 1407 of the Philippine Commission established the Bureau of Prison on November 1, 1905 under the Department of Public Instruction. So meaning dati meron tayong tinatawag na Department of Public Instruction. At ang tawag natin dati sa Bucor is the Bureau of Prison under the Reorganization Act of 1407. Pero after that, nagkaroon kasi tayo ng Administrative Code of 1987, Section 26. It now renamed the Bureau of Prison to the Bureau of Correction. Kailan niya nangyari? That happens on November 23, 1989. And then, nagkaroon tayo ng Republic Act number 10575 or otherwise known the Bureau of Correction Act of 2013, which was signed on the 24th of May 2013, provided the modernization, professionalization, and reconstructing of the Bureau. Diba, in the PNP, ang reorganization and modernization is the RA 11200. Meron din sa NBI. Also, meron din tayo sa Bucor, which is the RA 10575. Huwag sanang malito, no? Reorganization Act 1407, ang tawag pa natin dyan is the Bureau of Prison. Kaso dumating ang Administrative Code of 1987, Section 26, pinalitan niya na yung Bureau of Prison to the Bureau of Correction na ginagamit ngayon natin. Ngayon, nagkaroon ng modernization and professionalization of the Bureau of Correction that is under ng Republic Act number 10575. And for the function of the Bucor now is tasked to safekeep and rehabilitate by the PDL by providing the opportunities for reformation, decent environments, and secure settings. To extend exemplary public service, Bucor commits to letter A. Implement effective and strong security measures for all confined PDL. So meaning, ang Bucor kailangan ngayon nilang magkaroon ng strong security measure para yung mga PDL natin na nasa Bucor is syempre hindi makawala, hindi gumawa ng another crime, no? Hindi mag-commit ng another crime nga. So they must implement effective and strong security measure. Next naman, they may provide PDL with basic necessities in accordance with the existing domestic and international laws, rules, and regulation. So, meaning, one function of the Bucor is now to provide yung mga PDL natin, yung mga kailangan nila. Like, for example, tulugan, maayos na pagkain, and mga basic necessities. Like, for example, yung mga gamit nila pangligo and the like. Next naman, they must ensure that the PDL now undergo a holistic rehabilitation and reformation program. When we say holistic rehabilitation and reformation program, dapat daw na i-provide ng Bucor yung specific rehabilitation for the specific person. For example, itong tao na to, bibigyan mo siya ng rehabilitation niya or rehabilitation or reformation program na naka-align kung ano ba yung kailangan niya. Diba? Para maging effective talaga yung ating rehabilitation and reformation program. Next naman, you must establish linkage with other government agencies and non-government organization that will support now the reintegration of the released PDL with the society. Paano yan? Dapat daw yung Bucor is nakiki-coordinate din with other government agencies and mga non-government agencies, especially yung mga makikita natin in the community. Bakit? For them to give support once na i-reintegrate na natin or ibabalik na natin yung PDL in the society. Siyempre, para hindi maging habitual or para hindi maging recidivist ang ating mga PDL is that dapat, diba, tatanggapin sila in the community. Paano natin sila mai-reintegrate in the community kung wala naman kayong pakikipag-usap with the non-government organization and other government agencies? So, mahalaga din yun. Next naman, select a highly qualified and competent personnel and empower them through continuous training and development program. So, meaning, kailangan din sa Bucor, no, they must select highly qualified and competent personnel. Kaya ang Bucor nagkakaroon din sila ng kanilang recruitment process. Okay, they identify yung mga highly qualified person to be a Bucor officer. Siyempre, bakit ba kailangan ng may competent personnel in the Bucor? Siyempre, sila yung mag-aayos, sila yung mag-aalaga, sila yung magbibigay ng mga rehabilitation programs dun sa ating mga PDL. So, dapat maayos sila. They must be qualified. They must be competent enough to give the PDL yung mga needs nila. Next naman, they might provide adequate correction facilities. Okay, so I think naman meron tayong adequate correction facilities, no? Especially yung ating mga, anong tawag dito? We have there the different penal colonies. Malalaki naman. So, meron naman siguro tayong adequate correction facilities. Continually improve the effectiveness of its quality management system. Okay. And that's it for our discussion. First discussion for our finals. For your assignment, nakalagay on a, na lang pala, one half lengthwise ng inyong yellow paper. And syempre, you expect a quiz number 1 for our finals next week, which is our face-to-face discussion. So, I hope panoorin niyo yung video lecture natin, no? Sana lang. Kasi it is the start of finals and sana makahabol yung mga medyo alanganin na yung grades, no, para makahabol kayo or makapasa kayo on the subject. Okay, thank you.